What the fuck is a positive atheist? Like, I'm seriously asking. Because I have no idea what that term could fucking mean. Like, none. Atheism is simply a lack of belief in a deity. Nothing positive or negative about that. Well, I mean, I kind of guess it depends on how you look at it. You can see it as a positive thing, you can see it as a negative thing. But the way theists have treated atheists, I don't know, for the last 10,000 years, well, that has for sure been mainly very, very negative. What's up, y'all? I'm the Raging Atheist, and I usually rage on theists. But today, I'm gonna rage on some goddamned entitled ass atheists and this one single proclamation posted on the Facebook page of a rapidly growing YouTuber. Unfortunately, I saw it. A simple statement that says this: the biggest barriers to positive atheism are negative atheists. Now, this post caused a shitstorm, as you might imagine. And my intention is not to put anyone on blast here. And I would humbly ask you not to do so in the comment section as well if you saw the post I am referring to. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this notion. So again, I ask, what the fuck is positive atheism? And what the fuck is a negative atheist? Inquiring minds want to know. And I just have to say, why the fuck don't you just put people on blast here? It seems to me you get to talk shit about people while escaping their wrath. And that's kind of fucking cowardly. And there I go, being a negative atheist again. Maybe. Like, what does that even mean? So the original author would go on and try to clarify what he's saying. Okay, clearing the air, he says. The atheist community of Austin's mission statement is to spread positive atheist culture, or positive atheism for short. That's what I'm referencing. A couple comments are in reference to strong versus weak atheism. I'm not talking about positive negative stances in regarding to God claims. Unless you are actively making the discourse worse in the various atheist communities, this post isn't about you. Okay, so there's a whole lot to break down here. But first, I just have to say, what the fuck, yo? The atheist community of Austin, or the ACA, is an atheist community of Austin, Texas. And they do some great work, without a doubt. I, for one, love watching Matt get into a caller's ass. Like, really go into the dude, hanging up on Christians. I have literally been watching that for years. But again, it's the ACA, and their mission statement is for their organization. Are you stating, for real, that this is now the dictated standard for every atheist in the States? Or even the world? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. So to the next part. Who exactly is making the discourse worse in the quote-unquote community? What is making the discourse worse? I mean, it seems pretty cowardly not to say any names here. Like, extremely cowardly. I mean, is it Arn Ra? I mean, he certainly went into some theists, man. I mean, personally, I love it when he talks shit to Kent Hovind. Oh, That's OG raging atheist for sure. Are you talking about Godless Engineer? I mean, he can certainly get into a theist ass for sure, without a doubt. I love me some Godless Engineer. I mean, are you talking about Dragnaut Silvis? I mean, who are you talking about? Like, what is negative? Like, are you talking about me? I'll admit sometimes I can be very negative. Sometimes I can be very positive. All the time, I think I just show my humanity and I don't try to wear a fucking mask. So, I mean, if you're talking about me, I'd like to know if you're talking about me. Just like anybody else would like to know who the fuck you're talking about, because you're too cowardly to say. And then, you know, people start talking, people start expressing their either backing of this notion or their outrage at this notion. I was certainly one of the latters, and certainly didn't hold my tongue. But one of the posts really stuck out to me, and I wanted to read it for you. It's not by the original author of this notion. It's not by the same person that put out that clarification. This is by somebody else. And the author clearly thinks that this person gets it. So I'd like to read that to you now. I'm really confused about some of the comments on this. Like, people are trying to talk about positive atheist and negative atheist as a philosophy. And that's just not what this is about. Strong atheism versus weak atheism, hard atheism versus soft atheism, Gnostic atheism versus agnostic atheism, 7 versus 6 on the Dawkins scale, whatever you want to call it, is not the target of this post/discussion. Positive atheism in this context refers to people being good, productive, and contributing members of society while also being atheists, to help combat the idea that all atheists are evil baby eaters. Organizations like Atheists Helping the Homeless are probably the golden example of this. Negative atheist in this context refers to atheists with shitty attitudes, who aren't open to dialogue and conversation, who see themselves as de facto intellectually superior to any and every person with any religious belief. People who attack and belittle theists or even other atheists for their beliefs. Essentially, people who give atheism a bad name and would make theists go, "See, I told you those atheists are terrible people." There's a lot of stigma around the term atheist for some people, especially people who are leaving religion. Stigma that may serve to drive/keep people out of the community unless we, as atheists in the community, make the place positive and welcoming. So, positive atheism refers to people being good, productive, and contributing members of society while also being atheist. Okay, so now we have a definition for that. So, positive atheism refers to people being good, productive, and contributing members of society while also being atheist. Okay, so now we have a definition for that. Positive atheists are only those that have conformed to this author's satisfaction. Like, who are they even talking to? People with jobs, pay their taxes, walking around pretending society is peachy? Definitely not criminals. I mean, we don't want those lowlifes in atheism. Oh, hell no. Gonna check your criminal record at the door, yo. Oh, you're a felon? Get the fuck out of here. Stay a theist. You get to continue believing in a God that hates you. I mean, most likely we're talking about prostitutes, right? I mean, those damn prostitute atheists demanding to be seen and heard, just wanting to be human as well. We'll placate to your rights, but society, yo, you need to be productive. I mean, I could go on, but I think you get my point. To help combat the idea that all atheists are baby eaters. Now, I wonder why on earth people would think that. Okay, I think I know. Because, you know, their fucking religion tells them we're evil. Like, you think smiling and calmly telling them, "I'm a friendly atheist and I don't eat babies," is going to stop them from seeing you as a person that eats little fucking babies? They most likely picture you smiling like that as you're eating little fucking babies. Like, seriously. Imagine caring about the opinion of people that think you eat babies. I can't imagine it. Negative atheist refers to atheists with shitty attitudes. Like, what? Who deems an attitude shitty? Are people not allowed to be human and have bad days now? Are we supposed to plaster on a smile, pretend we are these supernatural beings where we are just, absolutely perfect all the fucking time? Or are we to ignore the trauma that religions cause and not even attempt to empathize or understand their personal stories or why they might feel and act the way they do? Are we to sit on our pedestals and look down upon the plebs as they possibly couldn't be the atheists that we are? For we are positive? It goes on to assume the motivations of thoughts of these so-called negative atheists. Then it goes on to accuse negative atheists as providing an atmosphere of non-acceptance when that is the very nature of all of this bullshit they are spewing. The point of all of this is, atheism doesn't have a dictator. The mere act of coming out as an atheist for the entire world to see requires a certain amount of bravery. Atheists, we come in all shapes and sizes, different moods and temperaments, different politics and motivations. We are a minority that is growing louder. Our voices are slowly being heard. We do not have to play by your or the theist's rules. And that's what this smells of. Being fake as hell so theists won't condemn us with their nonsense. I mean, do you think it was our fault? All those centuries they've been murdering us with their blasphemy laws. I mean, that would never have happened had we just been a bit more positive. Most of us atheists, stopped serving masters when we left our religions. I'll be damned if I start serving one now, or feed your egos that are so full of this nonsense. And as always, I have to send a big thank you to my patrons. My patrons have been there for me on the internet for the last several years, and they've done it quietly. They haven't expected anything on Patreon from me. They just want to support my endeavors here on this platform. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am. So to each and every single one of you, thank you. And I promise I will never quit on you.